Hello and welcome to this week's episodes of The Calling. Follow your spirit all the way in. I'm your host, Homaya. Join me in this journey of self-awareness, soul frequencies, and spiritual revelations. Let's fly.
I want to take a moment to share about the grief. I want to take a moment to share about strong emotions and the gift in death. In the previous episode, I was sharing that a lot of what happened with my mother's death was very much connected to birth. There's so many things that feels the same, so many things that are very similar movement. When I saw her passing, one of the sensations that I had is that the way you pass is the way you live your life, the way you lived the entire experience. It's not that you become someone else when you die. It's you in your style doing also that thing. It's the same with birth. So many ladies are trying to prepare for birth. You're going to give birth the way that you lived until that moment. You don't just give birth in a moment. When the contraction starts, when you were 1 year old, 2 years old, 3, 15, when you met the partner, when you got pregnant. Contraction doesn't start in one day. The birth doesn't start in a certain moment. The death doesn't start in a certain moment. The reason that I'm sharing that is because we try not to experience death. We're avoiding it because we don't know what to do with it. We don't know what to do with the emotions. We don't know what to do with the potency, with the energy, because we abused our emotions. And instead of really getting connected to who we are and what we are in time of death, in time of birth, we are running away from it. We don't allow life or death to touch us because we don't know how to feel, because we're afraid to feel, because we are afraid from the amount of energy that comes together with feeling, from the emotional waves, from the waves of energy. It's been 30 days since my mother passed, and grief is kidnapping me. It is just stepping into the room, opening the door with so much power. And regardless of the situation that I am in, like a passionate lover taking me, I almost cannot do anything. It is coming from somewhere, inside and out. It is passing through me, and there's no story attached. I just want to release. And energy is moving inside of my body, and then tears come, and voice comes, and a movement comes with it. But no, there's no story. I don't need to invent a story to mourn. I feel such a complete peace around my relationship to my mother. And I can really feel how the grief, how mourning, how the sadness is an energy that is serving me, that is serving her, that is serving humanity way beyond what I can perceive, way beyond what I can feel. And I can really understand how it is so much more easy and simple if I just want to dilute and make it easier for me to deal with this potency that comes with this energy, that it doesn't matter if I'm with people, it doesn't matter if I'm with myself, it doesn't matter if it's day or night, if I am in that room or the other room, if I'm in my car next to people by myself, nothing matters. If the energy wants to move now, it will just move. And if what will come will be tears, then tears will come. And the grief is coming with tears and without, but it's still here. I remember when I gave birth to my child, I was with myself and my husband. The midwife didn't came in time. They came when my child was already in my arms. But at this last moment, I could feel, I was standing and I could feel that the head is coming. How I didn't know what to do at that moment. That was the only moment where, for a moment, my brain came in. Oh, the head is here. Where am I? What am I going to do? Because I'm standing. Who's going to hold him? I cannot hold him. Ah. And one of the things that the midwife were saying to my husband on the phone, because he called them, is ask her not to push. Ask her not to push, like there was something that I was doing in this birth. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't pushing, nothing. But I could definitely see my body moving in certain way that was like, seems like I'm pushing. I wasn't pushing anything. It is exactly like that the agony and the grief and the sadness are coming. No mental idea around it. I don't need to tell a story. I don't need to explain myself. I don't need my mind to be okay with what is happening. But most of the people don't live like that. Most of the people must rational an emotion and a feeling. And they start weaving a story. More than that, some people feel the energy of the emotion coming and they need to attach a story to it so they will have no problem to grab in another image, another personality, another person, their mother, their father, their husband, their child, whatever, in order to justify energy that wants to move through their body as emotion. Most people. Look at yourself. How many times are you even aware? Are you even aware that the reason that you blame, or the reason that you shame, or the reason that you gossip, or the reason that you go into fight and activate some anger or sadness or joy or fear and weave a certain story around whatever character. It's just because there is energy that want to pass through you in order to clean you, to liberate you, to transform you, to transmute you, to be part of this ascension, to support your ascension. If you would just let go of the need to explain something to yourself. Because when we're afraid to feel, we reject feeling, we lose life. This is what this huge sadness, huge grief is teaching me. I am aware that while I am mourning my mother and while I am grieving my mother, I'm going through an initiation, a rite of passage. And whether you are able or not to grasp it, I put it here. I am aware that I am still supporting her ascension, and those waves that I'm feeling of tears and the waves that I'm feeling of peace and wholeness are part of me being present for her ascension. We're limiting our perception of life and death, of birth and death, because the mind is so focused on the moment where the act is. The mind is so easily focused on the birth. But you are not giving birth at a certain moment, and you don't die at a certain moment. Your entire life, you are living and dying. And even when you passed, even when you died and you left your body, I am 100% sure. I am feeling it like absolute truth. The ascension is gradual. The departure is gradual. And my grief and my agony and my pain and my sadness, same with my peace and my completion, and how proud I am, honestly, on what I've done with myself to be able to be in that place with so much awareness and with nothing as a story, although I could have such a huge emotional story if I wouldn't have done my inner work. I could tell so much stories about our relationship, but there's none of it. And I know that I am birthing her as she is birthing herself into the ether, into the higher realms, back to the seat of her soul, back to her temple of creation, back home to source, to God. And this rite of passage, excuse me for my English, I learned that that is actually the way to pronounce it. This rite of passage is giving me more life, is giving me more power, is giving me more wisdom, is giving all of us more of it. And the fact that I am willing to feel, the fact that I am so much willing to truly feel it without a story, pure feeling, pure emotion, I'm gaining life. And this is really an invitation for you to see, because every moment you separate from something, every moment includes some grief, every moment there are feelings and emotions. Now, sadness and joy and anger and pain. And without the willingness to feel them, we're losing life. We're losing the opportunity to really experience life, creation, wonder, beauty, romance, love. We're losing the option to feel options. We're losing vitality, luxury, grace. We are giving force instead to the linear mind and to the dormant perception and experience of life. Life, real life, and the power of life is wild. It's primal. We're human, but we are wild. And our suffering, which is very different than pain, very different from sadness, very different from agony, is coming because we're trying to reject this wild nature of us. We're trying to attach a story and a reason to everything. And by that, we're disconnecting from God, from potency, from vitality, from beauty, from ourselves. The search for a reason, the search for rationalizing everything is taking you away from the magic of life. I feel that every day that passes and every day that I cry and every day that I allow myself to give space for this energy, to birth this experience into the next era of myself, of her. I really feel how she is not only leaving this life, she's really leaving my body. When I was young, when I was younger, oh my God, she was so much inside of me. My mother, our mothers are so much inside of us. Almost everything that I was doing, I could hear her and see her, and her voice, what she would say, how she like it, she doesn't like it. It's like, oh my God, I had to work so much to clear my head and then to clear my heart and my emotions. But now as she's passing, I really feel that I am even clearing my body, and not because there's a problem with her, but just because this is how it is, and that this is this era. I had a conversation with a dear friend and colleague and person who have done so much work with me, and I'm so much connected today. We had a moment, and I told her something, and I feel like sharing it here. Who knows, it might be too advanced to some of you, and it might land, you might get the code. I feel that the era we're heading towards going to be completely different, and even this experience of individuals and family going to be really, really, really different, very different. As we give more and more the power of birth, which is one of the strongest power that we have, we give it more and more and more to the machines. Conceiving a human, giving birth to a human, getting pregnant, more and more we're giving it to the machines. more we're giving our life force away. And I can really strongly see that the quality of a family and heritage of assets, money, personality, thought forms, patterns will gradually be less and less. The individual will have more power if we will wake up and take our individual power. We're about to enter an era where the individual power is going to be so meaningful and so important, but this is at the end of an era that we gave our personal power. I'm relating to money as a representation of our life force. How much life force we have is very much equal to how much money we have. And the way we play with money is the way that we play with life force. And as the digital currency will come in, life will have an exit point, and less of you will stay here. There will be no heritage, not as well of money, heritage of patterns. That to say, you have this life. Make an art out of it. Allow yourself to feel all of it. It's a creating and a creator energy. Enjoy it.
Thank you for listening and being part of this great conversation. You will find all the relevant links in the show notes, as well as a link to a meditation for you to feel more connected to your spirit and aligned with your soul contract. Please, if this episode touched you, leave a review, like, and subscribe. Feel comfortable to share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, because everyone has a calling.